Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Mexican style chorizo, 50% off. Let's start with that. Okay, so here's the setup. It is Victoria Day. And for those of you who are not Canadian or from the Commonwealth, I don't know if the other Commonwealth countries do it. Let me know down in the comment section if you're from a Commonwealth country and you celebrate this day. Today is Victoria Day. It is a day in May that Canadians get off as a holiday to celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday, even though there have been several monarchs since Queen Victoria. We get her day off. We get her birthday off. So it's a holiday here. And Julie and I have spent the last week out in Newfoundland. And we got home late last night, Sunday night, got up this morning, fridge is empty. There's no fresh vegetables, pretty much nothing in the fridge at all. I started to make a list and Julie said to me, it's a holiday. The grocery stores are all closed. So I wasn't going to cook today because I was going to cook something really nice for Julie and I. I was going to do a barbecue outside. I had all this planned. So I had to go down to the freezer and look at what was there. And I had a whole bunch of stuff in the freezer, but nothing that I had any side dishes for. So I looked at this sausage. I said, okay, I've got the sausage. There's probably something in the pantry that I can do with the sausage. Had some onions down in the cold room and a bunch of cans of things. I'm going to make a soup, an emergency chorizo soup using just canned goods that I had. And in fact, some of these canned goods are at or beyond their sell-by date. So they needed to be used up. No recipe, no net. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I've taken the casing off of the chorizo and I'm not really going to chop it up. I'm just kind of breaking it up. I'll probably just crumble it in the bottom of the pan. That's pretty good. Let's get it over to the pot and into the Dutch oven, and I'll just fry that and crumble it up. So this is a Mexican style chorizo, or chorizo, depending on how you want to say it. I've heard it said multiple ways, pronounced multiple ways. And I know that this causes a little bit of confusion with my European viewers who confuse it with Spanish chorizo. Spanish chorizo is a cured sausage. It is cured, I don't know if it's smoked, but it is cured and you just eat it raw because it's cured. Mexican chorizo is fresh. It's not cured. You have to cook it. One, Mexican is descended from the Spanish, of course, because of the Spanish influence of Mexico. But they're different. They use the same name, but they're different. I think that's really all you need to know. So I've got that fried off nicely. It's crumbled up a little bit. I toss in some diced onion. We always have onion in the cold room. So in that goes. And this is chipotle and adobo sauce. I always have a little nub of that in the freezer. In that goes, and we'll fry these together just to soften up the onion. And that'll happen pretty quickly. I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know if this combination has a name, if it's ever been done before. I'm sure it has. I'm just working with what I had in my kitchen and in the pantry. We could have gone to a restaurant tonight. Definitely could have gone to a restaurant tonight for dinner. But you know when you come home from a week away and you've eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a restaurant? You just want to eat a home-cooked meal. I'm kind of at that point today. I just want to eat a home-cooked meal. Although, we had incredible meals in Newfoundland. If you've never been to Newfoundland, you have to go. It is a wonderful place. The hospitality is incredible. Fresh seafood right beside the ocean. I had some of the best seafood meals I've ever eaten on this last trip. And we did have the little cottage that we stayed in had a kitchenette, so we were able to make our own breakfast, which was nice. Go to Newfoundland. If you've never been, take a trip. So that was tomato sauce I put in. So I'm just going to stir that around a little bit. I think we're pretty good. Next in, I've got a can of Green Hatch chilies. A can of Rotel, because there's always a can of Rotel hanging around. And so our pantry is usually filled with cans of beans. I only had one can of beans, and it's a dark red kidney bean. I would not normally put kidney beans in something like this, but I have no choice because that's all we had. I got to tell you, it's May. Over the last few months, I haven't been shooting here in the kitchen because I've been training, doing another level of flight training to get my IFR certificate, my Instrument Flight Rule certificate. So I haven't been cooking in the kitchen. I've just been cooking, not in this kitchen, in my own kitchen, enjoying life, enjoying the foods that I like. And the pantry is running a little bit low, I found out today. So we're going to make do with the kidney beans. Another white bean in this would be great, or something like a pinto bean would be fantastic. But we're going to make up with it. Here, I've got a can of refried beans. I'm going to put those in. Because who doesn't like refried beans? Well, I know I love them. So I'm going to put them in. I'm expecting this would give a nice kind of creamy flavor to what's happening here. Of course, wouldn't be a green soup pot day without some Marmite. The jar is almost empty. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to put in a good dollop of Marmite. Most of the flavor that's going to happen in here is going to come from the sausage, the Rotel, and the green chilies. And the Marmite is just going to amp that up completely. And I normally lick every spoon. You see me. I lick every spoon. I don't lick the Marmite spoon. There's no way you're going to get me to lick the Marmite spoon. This is a mix of chicken stock and beef stock. I only had a little bit of each. So I mixed them together and in they go. I'm sure this could be mixed with water. Put a little beer in there. I've got lots of beer down in the basement. I could have put some beer in. I might still put a little bit of beer in. I'm going to let this simmer and come together and then give it a taste and see what I need to add. I might need to add a little bit of salt. Didn't want to add any because that is really salty. The Marmite's salty. The sausage was pretty salty. There's quite a bit of salt in the stock that I used. I don't know that I need to add any more, but I will taste it in about 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. Got some soup. It smells really good. It smells really good.
Hey friends, hey Glenn. Jules. So this is what you managed to throw together with what was in the house?
This is it. This is it.
One of those days where you...
But I made a little cornbread there. We had enough.
Oh, good.
To make a little cornbread to go with it.
There we go. Smells good.
Yeah. It'll be hot. But go ahead.
It'll be hot, but go ahead. I like the cornbread. Ooh!
Little cornbread?
Hurrah! So what is in it? What did you find in the house? Looks like some red beans.
We should just taste it.
Okay. Tastes good.
That's really good.
I like the creaminess to it.
Refried beans. Can of refried beans.
Is that what makes it creamy?
Yes.
That's brilliant.
There's a can of refried beans. Now, it's got lots of flavor. I didn't add anything. I didn't add any spices except for that little piece of chipotle and adobo. All of the other flavors coming from the Rotel or a can of Green Hatch chilies.
Okay.
The refried beans are bringing something. The Marmite, of course, is bringing sort of that undertone at the bottom. I would put...
That's really good.
Yeah, I know. It is. I would put maybe another can of beans if I had a second can of beans.
Some white beans?
Yeah, some white beans would be really good.
You could probably even throw in peppers or vegetables. Of course, I always say that, right?
If we had some peppers, that would be great. All we had was some onions.
All right, it's one of those days. Apparently shopping is for tomorrow.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm going to take one more bite, and then I'm going to crack open some of that cornbread. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, very nice. Oh, good for dipping.
Thank you.
You know.
Okay. So, the hardest part about this soup is going to be me remembering what I put in it so that I can actually write the recipe. I really like this. Like I said, another can of beans would be really good in this. There were only 2 sausages. A third sausage might have gone a long way, but I don't know that I'm missing it, really.
No.
And it's one of those things. You take a bunch of things that you know you like the flavors of them, you throw it in a pot, and it's going to turn out. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end. Thanks for watching to the very end of the video, and thanks for watching this next little bit. Once again, in 2025, I am raising money for Hope Air and participating in the Give Hope Wings flight across Canada that both raises funds for the Hope Air charity, but also raises awareness in the various communities that we stop in, and in the wider community through you, that this service exists and that this need needs to be met. Hope Air is a charity that allows Canadians who need healthcare that is not available in their community to travel to the larger cities in Canada where that need can be met. Canada geographically is a massive country, and some communities are pretty far flung. And people end up having to drive 12, 14 hours to get to where the treatment exists that they need. And while healthcare in Canada is universal, any Canadian shows up at the door of the hospital, care is freely given. You have to get to the hospital, or you have to get where the treatment is administered. And for a lot of people, this can be a very difficult time in their life. They're juggling a lot of things. They may not have the financial resources to fly to Toronto and put themselves up in a hotel room for a couple of nights and meals and so on and so forth. And Hope Air is a charity that takes care of that, takes that burden away, takes that weight off of people's shoulders, and allows them to just get well. So my part in this is to raise awareness and to raise money. I work with other pilots who fly some of these people who are seeking treatment from smaller flying communities to larger centers like Thunder Bay, where they can get a commercial airliner that will take them to Toronto or Winnipeg, so on and so forth. And over the last couple of years, we've raised a lot of money for Hope Air. Last year alone, you donated around $40,000 to help out with this cause. I'm very grateful for that. I feel very blessed that we have created a community here on YouTube, amongst everything else that's going on in the world, where we can help people. So once again, I'm doing this. Once again, we're flying. I will be putting the itinerary down in the description box of the places we're going to be in early June, where you can stop in and we can meet. Also links to Hope Air Charity so that you can check them out, see what they do. And if you're moved to help, there will be a link to the fundraising page. For everyone who has given in the past, I thank you enormously. And everyone who is about to give, thank you.